X-Men issue 15 finds Cyclops meeting with Jean, asking if the council is ready, but Jean wants to know if Scott is ready. Looking over the island, Scott knows he's always dreamed of having all of this, but wonders what good it has ever done. Jean knows it hasn't done much good, knowing Scott definitely is ready for this now. Scott says that for years he never stopped fighting for the little hope he and they had, and now he's going to continue that fight for their son. The couple head to the Quiet Council, filling them in on what has happened with Cable, but Scott knows they haven't done anything yet, since what they have built there on the island is bigger than what they want. On Otherworld, Saturnyne proclaims that the contest has come to an end with one final battle, pitting husband against wife as Apocalypse confronts Genesis. Apocalypse says that if he is to die by her hand, he doesn't want her to wear the mask, but Annihilation wants to stay on. However, Genesis removes it, saying that she only hoped to spare Apocalypse the shame of looking her in the eye. Dropping the helmet, the couple begin their duel as Xavier meanwhile asks what's happened, learning Jean is now cut off from her son and from Otherworld, which is concerning since a telepath of her strength should be easily able to connect to the world despite how far away it is. Jean knows that her son is hurt and their connection was deliberately severed, as Eric says that she wants to go and get her son, and Scott tells him he is going, but Jean knows that Krakoa is at risk as well. Sebastian thinks that she should have led with that instead of whining about her own personal misfortunes, as Scott tells them that they are losing the contest and unless some unexpected event happens, an army will be coming through the external gate and they cannot stop it. Eric asks how badly they are being beaten, but Jean doesn't know. However, Cable's mind was filled with hopelessness. Eric understands, asking what Cyclops' course of action is, so Cyclops details a plan for a strike team large enough to shake the Otherworld to its core will be sent into the world to break into it and take back their team. And going through the Avalon Gate is an option for them. He knows that if they can get their people, they will seal the gate either forever or until something better comes along. Shaw asks how they intend to close the gate, learning Beast stole horticulture tech that will allow them to control the gate from Krakoa. The council understand what Scott intends to do, but Mr. Sinister knows that there is a gap in his heroic plan, allowing Exodus to explain that Scott is assuming success without accounting for what will happen if he should fail. Scott says that he has yet to fail the council and doesn't plan on starting to now, but Eric knows Exodus makes a fair point. Scott won't be talked out of it, as Jean says that she is going with Scott, as is Nightcrawler and Catherine, prompting Sebastian to say they cannot be allowed to do this and they must vote on this, saying if they intend to go and help Scott, it means that they can and will forfeit their seat on the council. The group vote and agree to those terms, as Jean says that while she is disappointed, this isn't going to stop her from going. Kurt says that he will come as well, but Jean tells him that he needs to stay, since he is the soul of the council and they'll be lost without him. Catherine says that she is a troublemaker looking for trouble, but is reminded that they are traveling through a gate, which means she cannot come with them. Emma, however, knows that Cyclops is lying to her, telepathically telling him as much, as she asks if he wants her to come with him, but Scott knows that she is staying and that he would never ask her, given that the stakes are so high. Emma says then she'll send the Cuckoos in her stead, as Exodus says that there is a cost if Cyclops fails and they could lose him and everyone else forever, which might be acceptable to some but unacceptable to others. Mystique thinks it's foolish of him to assume that they will leave the gate open and themselves to attack while he traverses the Otherworld, so the council votes again, with the council voting to close the gates. Xavier apologizes, knowing he doesn't have the luxury of thinking for one mutant or even a handful. Scott understands, but he knows what he has to do, knowing the difference between right and wrong, and he knows that necessary evil has nothing to do with this, since that's how he was raised. Xavier knows that that's not the case, and it has everything to do with it, as Eric asks what the man is going to do. Scott knows that risking everything for a few lives doesn't work for the council, since they don't have that way of thinking, and he finds that unacceptable. Apocalypse and Genesis meanwhile continue their duel, with Genesis wounding her husband husband. Scott tells the council that they were formed as Krakoa's government, and the X-Men are Krakoa's heroes, and they will save those who need saving, whatever the cost. Taking his wife's hand, Cyclops leaves the council to help his friends and family, as Genesis meanwhile intends on delivering one final blow to Apocalypse, wanting him to surrender as she smashes up his sword. Apocalypse doesn't give up, dodging the woman's attack, catching her arm and taking her sword, using it to gut her. As Genesis lays dying, she tells her husband to finish it and kill her before the Shame does, but Apocalypse knows that the Shame would be him warring for 1,000 years to see her again and this be the end of it all, knowing he doesn't want this. Saturnyne knows that that would matter if one were to care about his wants and needs, but she knows that things must be settled. Genesis gets up, retrieving the Annihilation helmet and using it to heal, telling her husband and Saturnyne that this is far from settled since she has not yielded yet. X-Men issue 15 got into the nitty-gritty politics of it all, as Cyclops intends on invading Otherworld to rescue his son and his people from certain death, despite not being the wishes of the Quiet Council. I really loved this whole issue was just Scott speaking his mind and offering up a solution to help the mutants, even though the Quiet Council don't want to, leading to him delivering quite a heroic speech about the X-Men being the heroes whose job it is to help those in need. Again, it's a great showcase on why he is the leader of the X-Men, and I love that the council know how passionate he is about saving people and being a hero, so they kind of use that to their advantage a little bit here. Apocalypse and Genesis's battle continues as well, and their little skirmish was great and bloody as expected. I'm looking forward to that continuing in the next chapter, especially since Genesis has basically kind of given up and quote-unquote died and let Annihilation take over the battle there at the end, meaning the battle could literally go either way now. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.